Hello everyone, I'm Mehdi and today we are here to ask a couple of questions about Indian American culture. Let's start from the first question, which is what brought you to San Francisco?
My name is Rodney Nilbert and I came here on a relocation program I wasn't living on the reservation. I was living off reservation in Bismarck, North Dakota, when I decided to come out here and get training and leave that very cold and miserable place.
Osio Gigi Meli Gini Dagwadoa. That's I'm Mary Jean Robertson, and Chi-Chi means winter wren in Cherokee. I'm a Cherokee Nation citizen of Oklahoma, and my family moved out to California in the 1950s and then moved up to San Jose, and I graduated from San Jose in 1966. And then in 1969 I moved to San Francisco as an adult.
I'm Kathy Manuel. I am a resident here in San Francisco. I am also a recent graduate at San Francisco State. I have a degree in American Indian Studies and creative writing, and just completed the College of Ethnic Studies Master's program. I was looking for more expanded opportunities. I grew up in the northern, the ag area, Sacramento Valley, very small rural area, not a lot of exposure to multicultural values, and also very limited opportunities for women, particularly women of color, in education. If you're a person of color and you want to go beyond scope, you do have to relocate to a larger area.
April Miguel, I'm an enrolled member of Round Valley Indian Tribes in Northern California. So I'm Yuki, Little Lake Como, and Micho Wapo, and I am the Executive Director of the American Indian Cultural Center. What brought me to San Francisco probably was going to San Francisco State. I was born up in Northern California, up in Sonoma County, in Santa Rosa. I've always loved the city. My sister lived here in San Francisco in the early 80s, and so I used to come down here to San Francisco when I was like between 5 and 7. So I fell in love with the mission at a really young age, coming down to San Francisco to visit my sister. And I always said I'm gonna live in the Mission District, and I ended up moving on 22nd and Cap Street.
My name is Jackson. I'm a student at the University of San Francisco. I'm in my graduate program in International and Development Economics. I think it's interesting how I got to choose San Francisco from any other place I could have gone to do my program. So basically I was looking for a program that offered to students like more quantitative skills.
What brought you to the American Indian Cultural Center events?
I work for AICD, American Cultural District, but American Indian Cultural Center is probably something that the idea of that stretches way back to when I first arrived. And we had our own American Indian Center back then, so that's how I got here.
I was part of what we call the advisory committee that went to San Francisco State University to ask for a fiscal sponsor from San Francisco State University so that we could have a new cultural center, because the old Indian Center was shut down. And so Andrew said that he had been the head of the African American Cultural Center, and he would be happy to help us get a fiscal sponsorship and possibly a 501c3 documentation or whatever. And so they created a new board, and I was helping to advise them, from my past experience.
Actually, my friend Mary Jean Robertson, we met at San Francisco State in my sophomore year. That would be spring of 2017. We had American Indian Studies class together. Also, our professor was Dr. Andrew Jolivet, who was involved with the Cultural Center, and Mary Jean would always ask me, if was I going to this event, was I going to that event. I didn't know what she was talking about. So of course I asked questions, and then she explained more to me and showed me the announcements. So I gradually came into, joined what events I could, and was familiar with a few of the services, and took advantage of the invitations, and just kind of melted my way in.
I'm one of the founders of the Cultural District, and the American Indian Cultural Center and Cultural District are collaborating on this chess report, because today's event was really on arts and culture, and I'm the arts and cultural chair for the Cultural District. So I was brought onto this project probably like in 2015. I was brought onto this project for the American Indian Cultural Center for us to get a 501c3 and to get funding to allocate that. And then in 2019, the American Indian Cultural Center advocated for a cultural district.
I met Eddie, who is doing the filming of the interviews today at the event. So we met at one of the events at the university, and I think we jumped into a conversation, and we had exchanged our contact details, and we started talking from then. And he had invited me to this event, and when I saw it, I was like, yeah, why not go ahead and be there? And I'm really happy that I came, because I met beautiful people, and people who are really inspiring, and they're very passionate about transferring their experiences to the new generation, and making sure that they preserve the Indian American culture.
So what more can the American Indian Cultural Center and District do for you?
For me, there's nothing more they can do for me, but they can go ahead and continue forward and bring the community together and allow us to re-emerge as one solid community. That's what I pray for, and that's what I dream about. And I do anything to make sure that the love is brought back to the community.
Make sure that any opportunities for employment or opportunities for artists to get grants or whatever are sent to the radio station so we can announce it. I've always felt that the Cultural District is doing a fabulous job in making sure that our voices are all heard. It's been really good to hear from Sharia and Paloma, and Paloma's been on the radio talking about this event and the other ones that they've done.
I would just say that they continue with what they're doing and expanding with each level, being available to the little shy natives that are out there. There's quite a few still out there in the cracks, and they're a bit tentative about coming out. I would also like to see them also to work with the academic community, the professors in American Indian Studies in San Francisco State, also Berkeley, and the high schools. We have a lot of Native American high school students that could climb the ladder into college, university, internship, externships, fellowships, scholarships that would help them with their college journey.
The American Indian Cultural Center has been advocating for a cultural center building. We have a small art space that we are developing out, but it's not a cultural center. We're the only community that does not have its own building. So, like I said, there were 2 other cultural centers, which was the Indian Center. And so we are basically a transformation of the Indian Center, and we want to be able to have a cultural center building which has housing, which can host events and programming. And I think that it's important for us to have a building, and so we see the cultural district really being that advocacy lens to get us a cultural building in our cultural district.
I think for me, who is like an outsider to the community, I think I would be interested in events that that showcases the I think what the Native American, Indian American culture is all about. So like a food festival. What is the traditional food for the Indian Americans? What do they eat? Like in their special events, what do they have? Like what does an average Indian American family eat? You know, that's what I would be interested in. And also maybe a film festival or a fashion show event where they showcase like the dresses that they wear and things like those. Something that would give me like a good idea of what Indian American culture is all about.